So we're back with viewers' questions, and the next one is on salt and whether it is a tonic or a treatment, because it's something that is widely used in Japan. Yeah, this has always been an interesting topic. Back from my time working in my dad's retail shop, salt, I've seen people use salt in such fascinating ways. I think in previous years of koi keeping, it's been known that it can be quite handy, but used in such a terrible way, why it's just sort of thrown in, not measured accurately, or used to specific doses. And let me tell you, if that's how you use salt, it's pretty much useless. So yeah, tonic or a treatment. Salt can kill parasites. There's no two ways about that. The levels you have to use though, and the sort of process is not the way that I would advise salt to be used, because it's very long-winded. Not the way, for me, is the best way. I think there can be a lot of also stress added in general to the environment in taking salt up to such levels as you need to kill parasites. So yes, can be used as a treatment, but wouldn't be my choice. As a tonic, yeah, I think that the best way to sort of describe that, and the way I would put it, is it's fantastic for stress related situations. Now, koi go through stress at all times of period when they've been moved into a new pond. They're mixing with other fish they've not been exposed to before. There can be different variances in water parameters, temperature fluctuations, the sheer stress of being caught, bagged, moved. For us, more importantly, when fish are shipped over from Japan, one of the most stressful things they'll ever go through is a period of high stress. So it's what can generally happen from periods of high stress is you can rock the immune system a little bit, but also the osmotic system can get pressured, and that's where a lot of issues can come in. So yeah, as a conditioner for relieving stress and stress-related symptoms, salt is fantastic, and there's some things you just can't be without salt, basically, and it's all in recovery. So to give you an example, our previous video that we did was talking about sleeping disease. In the case of sleeping disease, we cannot recover the fish properly without serious sort of mortalities without salt. We add that into solution in the water, generally at about 0.6%, which is roughly 1 ounce per gallon. And that solution relieves all the stress symptoms, relieves pressure on the osmotic system, which allows the rest of the body to recover and the fish to get better. Now, in all these other situations I've spoke about, salt at 0.3%, around 1/2 ounce per gallon, is great for just relieving stress. So if your fish had been through a big catching period, or say you've been to a koi show, something like that, you wanted to recover the fish well, adding salt to your pond at that kind of level, just as a background reading, will just help ease things out a little bit. If you're having nitrite problems in your pond, salt is good at helping prevent against brown blood disease, which can be caused from long-term exposure to nitrite. So again, at 0.3%, is enough to help sort of create a barrier against that. Most importantly, and it comes for hobbyists, I don't think it's as vital, but as an importer, dealer and a breeder, we have some of the most stressful situations to deal with. So in breeders' cases, when fish are being harvested from mud ponds and settled inside, it's such a vast change in environment, completely different water, completely different stocking densities. For one, you've got all the netting, the catching, the moving, all done in a short space of time as well. So that severe stress can just wipe the fish out at times. It's not parasitic illness, it's not caused by the water. The severe stress is troubling the body. Like I said, the osmotic system is what tends to get hit a lot. So before we know it, fish are looking like they've got parasites, but it's not the case. It's stress. It could be viral illness that's causing it as well. So what we do to recover fish in that situation is raise the temperature to get the immune system working, and we add salt, depending on the level of the problem, between 0.3% up to about 0.6% is the most that I'll generally use. So when our fish come over from Japan, we do exactly the same. So again, it's a high period of stress. The first week of the quarantine regime is settling the fish in a salt solution in the water, just to let them settle to the point where they're looking themselves. We see the stress reduced in the skin, and we get them feeding. So there is nothing else that can do that for the fish. Without that salt, it would take a long time to recover the fish. They'd probably get a lot sicker as well, just relying on the natural immune response and elevating the temperature. So yeah, there's not really too much more to say on that topic. It's useful for us on our side of the fence. It's vital. It's something we couldn't be without. On your guys' side of the fence, I'm not too sure if there's too many cases where you're going to need it. If it's a pond that's really not, you know, touched or disturbed too much, unless, you know, in winter when the water's cooler, if you've not got any heating and you need to do something, the fish are looking a bit off or not too well, a bit of salt in there is definitely going to help. But you don't quite get the same effects from it when it's not used in conjunction with the heat. The heat and the salt is a fantastic combination together, getting the fish looking top after any period of high stress. Furthermore, with salt, if you are using it, it's crucial that you buy a salt tester and get your levels correct and accurate. So they're relatively inexpensive. Digital salt tester, just dip it in, it'll give you an instant reading of where you're at with the level. So yeah, it's important to get the correct level. Like I say, if you're planning on using it to reduce stress and you don't dose up enough, it's not going to do what you need it to do. So get a salt tester if you're planning on using it, keep the correct levels. It's also important to maintain the salt levels for the right period of times. So if you're planning on, or if you've got fish recovering from a high stress scenario, you know, a few days in salt's not going to do the job. You need to set the level depending on where you're at. So basically with us, we'll hold that salt in there, you know, at the level we're at for at least 2 weeks after the shipment. Obviously try and avoid, you know, dropping the level down, because the consistent salt level is important as well in aiding that recovery. So consistency is just key in general. So yeah, that's my opinion on it. I'm sure others have different ones, but there's mine. Needed as a treatment, again, not my preferred choice. Medications generally do a far better job, but as a recovery process, it's absolutely crucial. So there we are. Got any more questions about it, please feel free to pop it in the comments section below. If you're liking what you're watching, please hit the subscribe button, hit like, and you'll get a notification anytime there's new content. Thanks for watching.